Perfect. Thank you.
Buttons have been pushed. We're in. Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Roll for Effort. Tonight, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're recording our Session 0 for the next campaign we're going to be running. My name is Jason Scranton, and we're here tonight with Joe, Chuck, Park, Damien, and Gary. Awesome DMs and players alike. If you enjoy the content we do here on the channel, feel free to support us in the only way that you can, which is to subscribe and share with other people you think you might enjoy this kind of thing. All you, Joe.
All right. So tonight, the system we are using is Lamentations of the Flame Princess, which, for anybody unfamiliar, it's one of the various retro clones of more of that old school style D&D, where it's, I guess, as the most common phrasing they use for it is rulings, not rules.
Yep.
And that's about it. So like Jason said, we're doing a Session 0. So it'll just be creating some characters and kind of getting the skinny on our setting.
Awesome.
So let's just jump right into rolling some dice, guys.
Yeah.
And let's go over. I've got a very
nice.
Hey.
I pulled some of the stuff up that we'll need. Just some of the easier stuff. You guys have control of your zooms, obviously.
Very cool.
So I guess let's go ahead and start. That's what I was actually just about to see there, Chuck. If you guys wanted to do them one at a time, or if you just wanted to do them
one at a time, definitely.
Let's do that.
Order.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
All right. So on my screen, the order I've got Chuck, Park, Damien, Jason, and Gary.
Yep. Everyone should be looking at the same thing.
So
all right,
kick us off there, Chuck, with that.
You got this, buddy.
You guys.
Come on now.
All right.
Are we doing one roll each or all of them at once?
One roll each. We'll go one each down the line. So yeah, these are 36 down the line.
Starting with charisma.
Starting with
11.
charisma.
6.
Nice.
Oh, Park, you got a 6? Oh shit!
Oh, that's still Chuck. Chuck's
7.
pulling his 6 out.
Oh,
he's doing all
Oh my
6.
gosh, yeah.
16.
Nice.
Oh!
11.
All right.
My
He's
God.
straight.
So your character has like the plague and is dumb as rocks.
He's strong as a fucking ox.
Yeah, the 6 and the 7 go con and strength.
Right?
That
So
16 is gonna be top.
I do want to point out, if the modifier totals for all of your stats come out to a negative number, you can scrub them all. It's assumed that the character,
Not viable.
death. Yeah, they're not viable. They got bit by a mole and died. They tripped in the wheat field and broke something severe. That character died at a very young age.
Oh man, death by
Sorry,
rabid
anti-vaxxers.
mole. That's terrible.
Yes.
Can I ask a question, Joe?
Yeah.
Do we need to keep the rolled number? Are we going to use that at all, or do we just need the modifier?
You actually will need both in this.
We will need both. Okay, cool.
Part of the older D&D style. They do end up coming into play for the only low roll that we actually have, and that's if there's by chance an ability check.
Oh,
But again, that's only if whatever the roll isn't covered by something else.
Okay.
As it is.
Nice.
So given there what you just said about he's dead from birth, this guy is not, because I think it's only -2, -3, and I've got a net +4, so I think I'm viable, and I'm going to keep him anyway. I wasn't going to throw him out even if I was.
That guy's sexy, dude. He's a badass. Are you kidding me?
I can switch to, right?
You can switch one stat with another stat.
Maybe you suffered head trauma at one point, and that's why you're dumb as rocks and sickly.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've got a charisma of 11 and a con of 6. I'm going to switch those two.
You want to
So
be
my
mean?
con is 11, and my charisma is 6. So that gives me stats of charisma 6, con of 11, dexterity of 13,
Nice.
intelligence of 7, strength of 16, wisdom of 11. Say hello to Scordromley Dragonheart, the dwarf.
Nice.
Going dwarf. Nice.
Oh man.
Nice.
Oh, I think we have our fighter.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Well, dwarf is a
I'm
fighter,
a lover, not a fighter.
right?
Maybe not.
It's an ugly lover.
What was your constitution again?
All right, I'm jumping over next, Park.
Wait. What, I'm sorry to interrupt. What was your name, Chuck?
Scordromley Dragonheart. I'll go ahead and I'll change my roll 20 name.
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
yeah. Let's change our names when we come up with stuff.
Gotta come up with a name. All right. All right, score Drumley.
Let's see.
All right, Park, take us away with those attribute rolls.
Uh-oh.
boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
12 and a 4.
Oh no.
Somebody does have the blame. God damn.
Oh no.
Oh no. Come on.
Bad.
Bring it up. Bring it up. There we go. There we go.
There we go. There we go.
Come on.
Yeah, getting better. Getting better.
And an
All
out.
right.
That's breaking even.
Not very good, fellers.
You got 2 above and 2 below.
I
Well,
think
it might.
you-
Oh,
no,
go ahead.
he's dead. He dies.
3.
I was gonna say yeah. I wasn't doing the math, but it looks pretty obvious.
Is he dead?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that
he
4.
fell by the wayside.
Fucking Morat got him.
Yeah. Was that a 4 constitution? Yeah.
Yeah, he's
stuck
done.
your toe at a
Oh
time.
man, zombie mole rats. Plague of zombie mole rats. That's the worst.
That needs to be a thing.
All right, so there's only one character death so far. So go ahead and roll up 6 fresh new ones.
You got it now, buddy. Got that old shit out.
Me again, or you want Damien
Yeah.
to go now?
Oh,
Yeah.
you go, Park.
Yeah. Keep going till we get a viable, like, good character there.
All right. So
Yeah, and that's straight out of the books that they're considered, not
So good start now.
Yep.
there we
not
go.
viable if they don't make the thing, or they're not suitable.
That's still 0, so that's fine.
You're above. You're
9
above.
dexterity. Oh my God.
No, that's fine.
8 intelligence. Holy
You're not. Yeah,
shnikes.
you're good.
Must be an elf.
Ah!
Oh,
7 strength.
Oh! Come on, bring it up. 18.
Come on, 18. There you go. That's close enough. That's close enough.
13. Wow.
That's
Okay,
positive.
so
Yeah.
that's +1.
That's still good.
Strength is 7. It's -1. No, I'm at -1.
Are you? Oh.
How are you
Yeah.
at -1?
11 is a 0. 12 is a 0. 9 is a
Yep.
0.
7
8
and
is a
8 are
-1.
Mhm.
7 is a -1, and 13 is a +1.
Re-roll that mother. Re-roll
Oh man,
that.
That's
Do
killing
it
me.
again.
That's
Oh my
another
God.
another great.
We're at 0.
Dude, your family was hit hard by these mole rats, man.
Yeah, yeah. All right, there you go.
14.
That's a good con.
Alright.
Grew up in some pretty sordid
14 is a
conditions.
+1.
Hell yeah, man.
Alright, dexterity. 12.
There you go.
I
Ooh.
can work with that. Alright. 12 is a 0. Intelligence. This is what I want right here. Intelligence.
Yeah.
Ah.
You can switch.
You can switch 2 stats.
you can switch
yeah.
2 stats. Yeah.
Alright. That's true.
Are you going for a magic user or a healer?
We'll see.
Okay.
Alright.
Oop. All right, give us a high
You
one.
are as you are, right?
Come on, dice gods, give us a high one.
11.
There you go. You
It's not a
break
bad
even.
character, man.
I think you broke even.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
That's a good
So-
starter character.
yeah,
All right, yeah, it's not bad. He is alive.
He is alive.
I'm gonna switch my con and my intelligence.
There you go.
Nice.
You want that 14 int? No, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And I'm gonna wind up playing a elfin blade mage of some sort. I don't know his name yet, Chuck, but you know, I'll have one by next round.
Nice. Nice.
All right, Damien.
All right, here we go.
All
So
them bones. Let's get them bones going.
these are five 6-siders, right?
Yeah, 5 sixes. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
27. No.
Oh, that's no good. Oh, that's no good. That's not very good.
There you go. There you go. There you go. You're still good.
16. That was an intelligence, huh? And a 7.
So
damn it.
16 is a +2. The other two, you're at an even 0, I believe.
So is that right? 7 minus 1. Yep.
He lives.
He lives. Look, 16 intelligence, man. All right.
All right.
I'm gonna go with the magic
swap.
user.
As I say, you can swap. Okay, you're going.
Well, let me think about that. I don't know. Does anybody have any preference in what they're playing? I really don't care.
Nah.
I'm gonna let the dice determine my fate.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. That's what I said early on. So I'm gonna go with the magic user, and I'm gonna name myself Minimus.
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 All right, I'm gonna put these out here. We're building a graveyard. We've got 2 tombstones.
That's awesome. All right, come on, natural 20 from Jason. No.
Yeah, on the 3d6.
On a 3d6.
Yeah, do it. You can do it. You roll 3 6s, roll another one.
Oh,
You get the
man.
20. No.
Nat 20 on a 3d6. If
That'd be
anybody
awesome.
could pull that off, it'd be Jason. He knows the old magic.
I just watch. I'm gonna roll like 3, 3, 3.
3 3 3. Do it. Roll a 3. It'd be a -3.
Oh man. Oh.
All right.
This is. Hopefully this isn't the one that fell into the sawmill. Here we go.
Go for
Charisma.
it,
The
Come on
brother
now.
of Johnny Cash.
Oh, wow, round of the
There you
gate.
go.
Oh man, 14 charisma.
You got this. You
Oh,
got this. You
damn.
got this, sir.
Bring your DM.
Come on.
13 constitution.
You into this game.
Yeah. So, Park, you will see a abnormal amount of natural 20s from Jason. That is the magic of Antonio.
Look at this. So far, he's at plus what? He's at +1, +2,
Dexterity.
+2. Yeah.
You take lead, buddy. You take lead.
Oh.
Still at +2.
Common intelligence at best. All right.
What is happening?
Oh, the force is strong with this one.
You are at
Fucking
+4,
paladin.
sir.
We got a paladin. Oh, nice.
Oh my god.
Oh man, wisdom 13.
Wow.
Jeez.
All right. Hold on. So that is a 14 was.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're
14's a
+5
+1.
Okay.
Yeah, you're. That guy is alive and healthy, and if he's a human, his life expectancy is like mind-numbingly high. We're talking like 40 or 50 years old.
You might have been royalty.
That's all right. I'm going to have to give a golf clap on that one, Jason.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Right.
Damn.
Alrighty.
Damn.
Are you swapping anything?
No,
No.
I'm not gonna
That's a
swap
perfect
anything.
even character, yeah.
I said at the start, I'm doing this however the dice land, right?
Yeah,
So
this is our paladin right here. Jesus.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. These are paladin.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
sure
don't
it
think-
makes.
Jesus.
I don't think
you
paladin
got-
is an option, but
Nope.
Yeah.
damn,
Heavy man.
Cleric's an option.
cleric's an
Cleric is an
option.
option.
Yeah, there's.
I think I'm the cleric.
Yeah,
want a
so
cleric?
you could swap your strength and wisdom.
You could paladin the
Well,
shit out
I'm
of
a I'm a 110021.
Right.
So,
Yeah, so
it's not that big of a deal.
clerics in original D&D, like they were essentially already a paladin. Like they were the fighting holy man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's true. Just
They
true.
weren't as good as at combat as a fighter, but then again, nobody's as good as combat as a fighter because that's kind of what makes the fighter good.
True.
Is the increased combat ability for them.
And I love how Lamentations does that too. It restricts your bonus.
Yeah, I was gonna say fighters are the only ones that get like fighting bonuses, right?
Yeah, every level
Yeah.
as they progress.
Yeah, they're the only ones that progress with that.
Which
Everyone else is
yeah,
along for the ride.
Everybody
Old
else
relic
gets,
I really
gets
appreciate.
+1.
Yeah,
Right?
everyone else
Everybody else gets
+1.
+1, and they get +1 at every level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where
Yeah,
fighters started a +2 and gain +1 every level after.
Every level.
Yes,
So they start a little higher than everyone too.
I would like to introduce my character, Elric Lightbringer.
Elric Lightbringer.
Oh.
Ah,
Alrighty.
name that backs the stats.
No. Elric Star Song.
Star Song.
There we go.
There you go.
Star Song and a cleric. That's awesome. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
he just had a vision.
All right, Gary.
Okay, here we go again.
Who is our 5th member?
There you go.
Oh,
So far, so
Jesus.
good.
motherfuckers.
Still above. +2. All right.
Come on, I want to see some
-1.
18s, Gary. Give us some 18s.
Come on, give it that 18. Has anyone got an 18 yet?
I haven't
No,
got an 18 yet.
Ah,
17's the highest. Here we go. Oh, that's not bad.
That's not
You're
bad.
alive.
Yeah.
1,
Definitely
2,
alive.
3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, what do we got here? Let's get these right.
He lives.
Where I live, yes. Kinda. Alright, 9, 7. I am not dexterous. 14.
Yeah, so might be familiar with the same concept. Your strength adds to your melee attack bonus. Dexterity adds to a ranged attack bonus. It was a standard even way back when.
yeah.
Now, curiously, your strength does not add to your damage. That's just straight dice.
Got it.
Huh.
So
Okay.
to hit, but not to your.
Yep, but
Your
not to
damage.
your damage.
That's cool. That's like ICRPG.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm comfortable with that shit. Yeah, you know, as long as you got one stat kind of supporting what you want to do, I suppose. You know. I love the fact.
I do not know how I want to place these. Huh.
But you only get to swap too, so that you
Yeah.
don't get a lot of choice in the place.
I don't get a lot of choices here.
Yeah, they pretty much they go right down the line as they were rolled. But then you
Yeah.
Now wait, now swap 2 just means 2 stats between each other.
Yep.
You can't.
Yes.
Can't
Just
do
means
it
flip
twice.
Right. You can
Okay.
pick
That's
2
fine.
and flip their places.
I'm not gonna do it anyway.
All right.
All right.
Man, I have so many questions right now.
Well, thankfully, I have so many answers.
Yay!
Let's hope they all match,
Okay.
or answers match the questions, as it were.
Let's see how we do this here.
All right. So my first question would be, as a magic user, what's the grittiness level, I guess, of your world? How magical is it? And what can I expect? Like, I understand what the accumulation of spells are as per the rules, but what's the world like?
Yeah, I need to know that too,
Alright.
right? Like, do I cast magic spells, or are my works as a cleric prayers? Like, how is that?
Yeah. So we are going essentially think 17th century Earth. Right? The year is 1657. I don't know if that matters to anybody, but
16?
just to give it a number.
So it's like the Renaissance era, or right after the Renaissance.
Yep. 1657 Earth. It's going to take place, at least home is going to be in a great name. It's going to be in a small little hamlet in northern England on the British Isles. I'm writing that name down real quick. That's an R. Haha. All right, so magic is low. There is still some magic, but most of that by people that can actually use it. Keep it very quiet, because the Church of the One True God, veiled reference to Catholicism.
Got it. All right.
Church of the One True God and their inquisitors really don't like people that can use magic. And in fact, prayer use or miracles worked by clerics, which are also rare, are kind of taken with a grain of salt, because surely it's not natural for somebody to be able to work these things. And is it really the one true God that is granting these abilities?
Got it.
So it's kind of that thing.
So it is like a miracle then, basically, like a prayer,
it comes
it
out like
happens.
miracles.
Nice.
Yeah. With mages, there are plenty of hedge wizards. Like hedge wizards, most every single town has one. That's generally the folks that are the doctors and they know the herbal remedies and such. Some hedge wizards can actually use magic, and again, that's kept kind of on the quiet and the down low because nobody wants to be burned as some type of witch or something along those lines. Because magic 100% is like it is like a shaping of chaos. It is taking this formula that's different for every magic user and like willing yourself into a trance to create this reality. Like in a sense, that's how the magic is kind of pulled out of nothing, as it were.
It's more of a wild magic than, say, I don't know, your classic ivory tower kind of shit where you are sequestered by the red mages into the whatever.
Yeah. It's so this part we're taking. I like the way it's presented in the book, and the way they talk about it is. I'll just read right out of here. Magic is art, not science. Each work of magic, from casting a spell to writing a scroll to creating a potion, is something that must be done from scratch each time. Merely replicating what was already done before will never work. A spell is a standardized magic effect that has been repeatedly created by many magic users. While every magic user must use a spellbook to store this magical knowledge, mortal brains are not structurally designed to hold this information. There's no set formula for any particular spell. Take the spell Magic Missile, for instance. It's a common spell, especially for traveling and adventuring magicians. But if you looked at the spellbooks of 100 magic users, which all contain Magic Missile, not a single notation of the spell would look the same. Each spell notation is a combination of reference notes, philosophical debate against the universe, and gibberish, scribbling, all which serves one purpose: to trigger the dream state understanding within the magic user's mind. Essentially,
you were right. Magic is gibberish. That's what I say.
Right.
That's heavy, dude, because you said, oh man, I'm sorry, I haven't read that passage, but the whole time
No
I'm
worries.
thinking, the last concluding sentence about the dream state. This is my proposition, is that as a magic user, would it be possible that my spell book would be a dream journal, and that any magical ability I have comes from my ability to remote sense or remote view and dream travel? So I do a bunch of the dream traveling kind of deal, like out of body experience, that kind of shit.
Yeah, dude, we can pull that all into like the RP style.
Awesome.
Your dream journal is still a physical book that you'll need to have.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wake up in the morning and write shit down. It's all part of the process, man. Yeah.
How about both? Awesome. Yeah, and for the church, Jason, yours definitely comes from a very lawful place. It is indeed channeled through you. It is like the will of God.
Yes, I believe that I was guided here to help Minimus discover the error of his ways.
Lovely.
All right.
Let me sleep on it.
Fear not, brother. Every soul may be saved,
Right?
even one as twisted as your own.
Exactly.
You and your dirty dreams.
I know. I'm just totally. You guys told me that all the clerics are like paladins, so I'm already with the self-righteous bullshit. Like.
You gotta go there. You gotta go there.
Alrighty.
Right.
Permanent
And now-
starting possessions.
Now, definitely in that sense of the magic, I've got the kind of magic adjustments here because we are not using spell levels or spell slots.
Right.
So there is what we have up here. Instead of a spell slot, and this applies to the elf, the magic user, and the cleric. There are no spell slots, but you have a safe number of spells equal to your level that you can cast. And that's every day you get like your safe number. which at level 1 you can cast 1 spell safely. That's
Okay.
with no danger.
Cool.
You can continue to cast spells afterwards that are all considered risky casts, which we have up here, the risky casting.
Gotcha.
So that's going to entail a save versus magic and penalized by some of the things listed there. Like if it's after your safe cast limit has been reached, there'll be a -1. If the spell has not been prepared that day, like if it's straight out of your spell book, cleric, that doesn't apply to you.
Okay.
Because your prepared spells are kind of different for cleric, because you have all spells available as a cleric.
Right.
We'll get to that.
Well, I would just pray, right? I'm praying for what in the
Exactly.
situation.
If you're casting a spell directly read from a scroll or spell book that is not your own spell book, is an additional -1, and if it's the first time casting, it'll be a -1, and that'll be to the save. If you pass the save, the spell casts normal. If you fail the save, the spell potentially might cast, because then we go to our random roll table to find out what exactly happened with that magic. But you can still continue to cast spells.
Right.
That's like the main piece of that. It's
And-
kind of more on your side instead of, oh, I just have 1 spell and I'm done.
And we're always rolling to cast spells, right?
Yeah, it'll be a dice roll to cast a spell.
Yay! That's my
For
favorite roll ever.
Modified.
I can't stand it when spells just like happen.
Right?
Like you have to roll to hit with your sword, but like you can manipulate the cosmic forces of the universe like no problem. Boom, just happens.
Yeah, right?
I know.
What? So
In the early
magic,
days,
magic
they had
missile with an
offset.
auto hit?
Yeah, no
low
kidding.
hit points or something.
Well, no, the
That's-
magic missile auto hit, but you still have to, check to see if you cast it properly.
There you
Right,
go.
right.
So
You didn't
can I
bend your
choose?
finger properly.
So should I choose my first level spell or roll for it? I know it's a die
Oh.
20.
Yeah, so for both, see, we'll cover since the elf also has spells. I believe the elf starts with just a single spell to begin with, but you get more levels.
Book reading.
Right, yeah, so the spell as it's written is magic users and elves start with read magic, but before you write that down, with the twist that we're putting, there is no read magic, there's no magical language. They're all written in specific code that only you understand. So in place of spell is comprehend languages, which is still straight out of the book.
Comprehend languages, gotcha.
Yeah, but it's just a little twist over, because having a magical language is just weird. They're
Yeah.
written in normal mundane tongues.
Yeah.
Like Fenrir's more than likely is written in Elvish, but in special notation that another elf would look at it and go like, "What the hell gibberish is this?" For the magic user, it's the common language, the English, as it were. But again, it's written in some just wild kind of thing. Right, but yeah, so it's comprehend languages instead.
Okay.
And your other 3 starting spells, Minimus, because you do have additional spells in your spellbook as a magic user. Those are all fairly random.
Okay, so should I roll those?
So I say we'll get to rolling those here in just a sec.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's pop back over over to Chuck there for your dwarf. I just want to make sure that you notice the part. Dwarves have a +1 bonus to the Constitution modifier, not the stat, the modifier. So an
nice.
additional +1 to that modifier.
Oh, hardy.
Woo!
Right?
Sweet.
So if, for instance, you had a 0, you would have a +1. Dwarves also, beyond levels, they always apply Constitution. And you have a 3 in 6 chance for architecture on your skills, or I believe they're listed as common activities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start there with a 3 in 6 on architecture. And I didn't actually pull the saving throw chart up there for you. So
I've already written them down. I got the rules in front of me.
Okay. Did you make sure you went to that second row, the level 1? So the very first row is
Yes.
level 0. Okay, cool. Yeah, and D10 on your hit points, or which.
All right, let's roll that, and I get the Constitution modifier added to that, right?
Yep, you certainly do. But there's a minimum of 6. So again, like that, you rolled a 4. That means you, since it's lower than a minimum, you automatically start at 6 and then add your Constitution modifier.
Okay, so it's 7 hit points. Perfect.
Yeah. So there is a minimum hit points that the class has, and if you don't roll it, then you just bump to that.
Okay.
All right, and yeah, dwarf, you have the best saving throws in the game out of everybody. Like, that,
Of course
it
I
just
do,
happens.
because that magic stuff is complete gibberish.
Right? And now a quick touch on dwarves. So think kind of in that Tolkien sense. Dwarves are rare in the world of men, and being 1657, this is most certainly the world, the time of man right now. So in that sense, dwarves have retreated back to their mountains. Not a lot of them are seen. And in fact, people like to quote actual references of real people. Someone like Peter Dinklage, who has dwarfism, by a lot of people would be called a dwarf, even though he is not actually a dwarf, just because they're already starting to fade out of human memory to more of a place of legend.
Gotcha.
We'll get to why that's different here in the hometown of Berksford for everybody. So I think that basically covers the dwarf. You do speak Dwarvish and English for languages.
Okay.
All right, and then stepping over to Finril,
What's up?
our elf. So in that same sense, elves are also they have faded into like things of legend. Like most humans have never seen an elf. You know, it's fairy tales, it's myths. Again, we'll get to why that's a little different here in Birchford. But elves are also ageless, so essentially you are immortal unless you are killed.
Right.
Which, you know, goes back to their you know, kind of fairy essence.
Holy shit.
Because they are
Yeah.
at their heart
They're
basically
fae.
fairies.
They're
Yep, they are fae.
Fae heritage.
Exactly. All right, and for elves, so yeah, you've got that one starting spell. You like every other magic user, or like Minimus, finding spells throughout the game. Those are spells you can get and keep. Otherwise, you gain more magical knowledge at every level. For elves, your chance to search is more effective at base than anybody else. So you start at a 2 pips or a 2 in 6 chance for searching, and you are less often surprised than other races, being only a 1 in 6 chance of being surprised because they are far more aware to everything.
Awesome.
Whereas for reference, everybody else is surprised, you know, if the situation permits for it, 4 out of 6 times.
Can you describe to me how that works? I don't understand what that means with a D6.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So so on these, and this works the same for like the activities. Like say you have you know, and this is one thing I want to run by to see if you guys are cool with flipping it on skills. So what it means on like that 1 in 6 chance, out of the book it means you need to roll a 1 on a D6. Just for brain health, I want to flip those to the other side, so roll a 6 being the thing instead. Like literally, it's still like for instance on like the 2 in 6 chance for searching.
Right, you want to roll high instead of low.
The higher, the better.
Yeah, roll it
Yeah,
high.
that's fine.
So
High is good.
Okay.
High is good.
Sure.
so a 2 in 6 chance would be on a 5 in 6.
Oh,
Okay. All right. That works.
Right. So
We just have to remember if there's any equipment that's related to that it's flipped.
yeah, don't worry. I've got you guys covered for that.
Cool.
Now if it was like a 5 in 6 chance, actually we won't go there yet. A 4 in 6 chance would be 3, 4, 5, or 6 is going to pass. That kind of thing. Now for surprise, those actually roll the opposite way. So like monsters will roll against your surprise, and you
Right.
would roll against a monster's surprise.
Right.
So a monster
That's
that's
why
always
it's better for me to have the 1 in 6 than the 4 in 6.
yeah. So everybody else in the
Right.
group potentially could be surprised except for you, which not being surprised means basically you would kind of get to go first. before anybody else participated in the initiative, if you're not surprised. That's how that works. So your chance of surprise is like how often you yourself will be surprised, which elves just kind of, it doesn't happen very often.
And keeping in mind that what is it with flight sources and what is it? How does it say in the book? Stomping around in the dungeon.
Yeah, if you're underground, it changes things.
You're not surprising anything or anyone, is the way it's written.
Right. All right. And do you have your or have a copy of the rulebook open, or you want me to shoot out your saving throws?
Yeah, I do. Nope. Okay. I got it.
Yeah, make sure you go with the level 1 for saving throws.
Right, and for anyone who's watching, those are paralyze, poison, breath. It's like breath weapons, right? Device and magic. And the Lamentations of the Flame Princess book has like it tells you exactly what those are by the class.
Right, and by level.
And by level, right.
All right, and elves start with a D6 hit points plus your con. So an elven minimum is a 4. So if you roll less than a 4, you start at 4 plus your constitution.
Right, up to a certain level, it looks like.
So it's a D6 plus what? Sorry.
D6 and add your constitution.
All right.
But if the dice roll is less than 4, then you'll start at 4 and then add your con to that. Yeah, so you roll a 3, so you bump up to a 4 automatically because that's your minimum. And then constitution modifier added to that if you have it.
That's a big 0 for me.
All right.
Typical elf.
Minimum health? Nah. One hit point's good enough.
I'm still up. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, and Minimus.
Yeah.
Our magic user. Yeah, same thing. We covered the rarity of magic, which you are blessed. You do have a hedge wizard that is kind of been your here in Berksford. We'll get to who that is here in a bit. But they've kind of been like your mentor. Mm-hmm. And again, we'll cover more of that when we get into this next phase of our session zero after the character stuff is done.
Awesome.
So first, let's start off. You start at level 1 with D6 hit points.
D6 coming at you, baby. We're going full. When I make up for my average commonplace mediocrity, I get.
All right.
Oh, that's not bad.
Man, you're healthy.
That's above the minimum. Nice.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. So then again, add your Constitution modifier to that.
Nothing there, buddy. Straight 5 on that one, which isn't bad for magic users.
Almost as good as a dwarf.
All right. I got the rule book in front of me, and I see I roll a d6 too.
Oh, I was gonna say for your starting. Yep.
Yeah.
But before we actually move on, do you have a rule book there for your saving throws?
Yes.
I do. I got 13, 16, 13, 14, and then bonuses are. Do I get bonuses for anything?
Nope. That's that. But now let's determine your other 3 spells.
Oh, wait. I have a question. My 16 intelligence gives me a +2 saves versus magic effects. Is that the same as magical device?
It could be, because device could also be a save against what's it called? Could also be a save against like a trap.
Okay.
So should I apply that to my saving throws, the +2 for?
I would make a note of it.
Okay.
Just make a note that you get a +2 saves versus magical effect.
Okay.
Because that could very well apply to different things. Like if the paralyze was a poison, no. But if the paralyze save was coming from a magical element, you would add the +2.
Okay.
You see how that goes? If breath weapon, which could also be area of effect, could be thought of that way.
Could be magic.
Yeah, it could be magic or it could be mundane.
Gotcha.
Like an exploding powder keg, because we do have black powder weapons. It's 1657 Earth.
That's not magic.
Exploding powder keg would be a breath weapon save.
Gotcha.
Dragonfire could potentially be magic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just make a note for that.
Okay, that makes sense.
But all right, so as we can see here for magic users, cleric, you're going to be a little different on this parts. But magic user, and this also applies to Fenrir, our elf who uses magic user spell stuff. There are no spell levels. So everything you thought of a spell level 1 to spell level 9, those don't exist. They're all essentially treated as first level spells, and they are all open and available.
Wow.
So this is where the madness comes in, because magic is fucking dangerous. So there are 156 spells. So I'm gonna need you to roll a D156. So you're gonna have to like.
How do I do that?
The magic of roll 20.
Yeah, type /roll. For your, like your regular backslash roll.
/R space D156.
Yep.
D156.
All right, 121.
Holy crap.
Wait, 1 sec. That's 2, 4, 6, 8.
You can talk to fish.
That's like a 9th level spell, dude.
No, that's a 7th level spell. So
Okay.
121. That is the spell animated artwork.
Oh, neat.
Oh,
You can become a graffitiist.
very nice.
What the fuck is this character becoming? Oh my god.
Dude, you carry a doodle pad with you and draw things and then summon it.
Yeah, I would save up money to buy chalk if I were you.
Yeah. Draw a door. I draw a door.
Right?
Or have fine art curated.
Do I do that 3 times?
Yep. We got 2 more.
Oh shit, what was it again, Chuck? R what? R slash what?
/R space D156.
D156.
Oh man, that's great. I like imagine you like running around and like buying up fine artworks, you know, of different things.
Oh my god.
He's gonna be
With
fun
the
in the
whole-
museum.
With my dream journal, and I must just be like, I don't know. Okay.
81.
81. Normally, this would have been a 5th level spell.
Oh.
And 81, this is airy water.
You can
Airy
breathe the water.
Yeah.
You can create bubbles in water.
Awesome. You can make soda.
That's literally the spell.
These are the
Yeah, but you can breathe it.
spells. Yeah, I'll
But you
find
can
a
breathe
way.
it.
I'm a minimalist. I find a way to. Yeah.
Right?
All right, here's my third one, man. Come on, magic fireball or something.
Yeah. I don't think there is a fireball, is there?
I think possibly somewhere. All right, 24.
This is completely appropriate. I just thought
ESP.
this is perfect.
Nice. That'll come in handy.
That's right.
Right.
Watching goats, baby. Watching goats.
Watching goats. Oh, I just watched that movie a month ago. That was awesome. The men who stare at goats.
All right. So yep, and knowing you, there's going to be some insanely creative uses of those, and I for one look forward to that.
He stares at pictures.
As I do myself.
All right.
Drinking champagne.
Very long.
That's awesome.
All right, looking at that art before pulling things out of it.
Exactly.
God.
That doesn't belong there.
All right, our cleric.
Okay. Well, I rolled my health early because I didn't realize we were doing the spells first, so I rolled a 2.
No worries. Oh, okay, so then
Rolled a 2?
Yeah, I rolled
We
a 2.
rolled that shit. That don't count.
right, minimum is a 4.
All
so
right.
you get to bump up to 4 and then add your con to that.
And then add my con to that. All right, so good 5 HP. It's not too bad.
All right.
Yeah,
Good start.
very good start.
All right.
And you said I just all spells or just like what I think of or
Right. So yeah, here's where the difference goes in with clerics. Clerics, you know all of those first level spells. You can ask your god for any one of those. Unlike the spell slotting thing, which normally wouldn't let you have second level spells until level 4, when you attain second level, you will also have access to all of the second level.
okay.
So those for cleric, they will follow your exact character level on when you'll have access to those.
All right. I
And
think I found the list of spells here.
right, yeah, the cleric spell list. Yeah, so I mean it's bless, command, cure light wounds, and the reverse. Detect evil and the reverse, invisibility to undead and reverse, protection from evil and the reverse, purify food and drink and the reverse, remove fear and the reverse, sanctuary and turn undead.
And the reverse.
Get all
Oh
of
man,
those.
that's a lot.
That
Yeah.
is a lot, dude.
These are all the blessings from your god.
Right.
How many of those can he
Nice,
cast
very
at
nice.
a time?
Once a day, and then it's risky after
Once a
that,
day.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, and then risky after that. Yeah, so for you, these are prayers. Another difference, to give the cleric a bit of a bump, since you don't actually have access to all of the crazy high-level stuff like a magic user does. You don't need to worry about preparing your spells. You are just asking your god for them. Like, you can pull any one of these out of your ass and just pray for it.
Okay.
Just keep your holy symbol with you. That's it.
Right. So when we're in a starvation situation, I can just do like purify food on one of my companions here, and we're good to go.
If you have food to purify, if you're going to eat them, but
I was gonna say, I think you got it, Joe. Like the companions.
I will say this. I don't think your god would look too kindly on cannibalism.
Oh yeah, lawful.
What
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
are a willing
Yeah.
sacrifice?
Well, like Professor DM was talking about this in one of his Patreon videos, that like in his game, if a cleric offends their god, like they lose their class and become a fighter.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I am, like, I'm fully on board with that. Like, yeah, it could potentially be bad for everybody.
Oh man.
All right. And moving down, our specialist.
Yes. So I'm reading up on myself here. So I get a bonus to skill checks.
Oh, yeah. So, you have, at first level, Gary, you have 4 skill points that you can put in any of those labeled, casual activities or common activities. You're the only class that gets skill points every level, so you can improve all of those.
Oh, are
I'm
you a
gonna be-
specialist? You're a specialist?
I should have called myself Jack. Yeah.
Now,
Jack of all trades.
For the specialist only, everybody has the chance to use sneak attack, and that's just attacking from surprise. Exactly. Like having surprise, you get a +2 to your attack with a sneak attack. Specialists, you get a +2 to your attack, but every point that you have in sneak attack adds a d6 to your damage.
Nice.
So just pointing that out for the specialists.
Okay, so everything, all of the was there 10 of them? All of the 10's common activities start at 1, but I get 2 on them, and then I get an additional point.
No. They all start at 1, and you
Okay.
have 4 points to distribute any way you see fit throughout those.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody else gets extra points added in, which we'll cover the exception on that here in a moment. So there's a couple things that do get to add in.
Got it.
All right.
And then I get
Yeah,
to put in 4 other
No
points.
other class gets to improve any of those from where they sit. Specialists are the rogue/skill monkey.
Yes.
Yeah, so Tinker is your, basic traps and such and repairing gizmos and bits. Stealth is obvious. Sneak attack is obvious. Sleight of hand, another obvious, stealing and such.
Mm-hmm.
Searching is, again, that's kind of an obvious one. Languages. Now, the interesting thing on this skill, actually, I'll skip that all the way till Bart comes back for that. Climbing is obvious. Architecture could be, it's more or less obvious. Checking out buildings and structures,
I'll yield to the dwarf on architecture.
right? And bushcraft is all of the stuff pertaining to wilderness things. as well
Nature
as,
stuff. Okay.
Yeah, gathering food, creating poisons even. Oh, right, spells and... oh no, you should be on the second page. I thought there was a thing.
Yeah, I don't see it. I'm just writing it in my language. It's not a big deal. Maybe there's a third page?
Oh, there might have been a
Yeah, there's a second page.
might have been a
has
spell page
language
somewhere
known.
else.
Well,
Probably
yeah.
the third page for spells, but
All right.
we're all going to create custom character sheets in our journals anyway, so it
I'm
doesn't.
getting a tattoo, bro. Are you kidding me?
And he dies in session 2. Just make sure you size it right so you can like do a little tombstone around it afterwards.
And I need to leave room to add like spells I learned.
Right.
That's hardcore, man.
I know, deep.
So let's see. Gary, you've started with a D6 for your hit points.
A D6 for my hit points.
Right, with a minimum of 4. Yep.
So 4 it is.
Yep. Plus your con modifier.
I have 0 for my con modifier.
All right.
Yep, 4 it is. Where do I put that? There we go. Max hit points. Current hit points. All right. Anything else I need to know?
That's it for that. Do you have a copy open to check your saving throws, or do you need me to read those out to you?
Saving throws. Oh, okay, they're there. Yes, I've got them. Okay. Paralyzed. 14,
Yeah, it's that top line there.
16. Yeah. 15. 14. 14.
All right. And now, real quick, for everybody. So, on the nature of armor class, unarmored is always a 12 in this game. So if you're not wearing any armor, your AC is going to be at 12. Which we'll get to equipment. I've got all the basic equipment stuff that you guys will need kind of slapped up there. All right, so you'll notice there are 4 different spots for armor class there. There's armor for melee and armor for ranged. The reason that those have differences is on the chance that you're using a shield. Because a shield, while it grants a +1 to melee, it gives a +2 AC for ranged, or against incoming ranged attacks. So those are differentiated that way. Then, of course, there's without shield. And surprised armor class is your armor class without the benefit of your dexterity modifier. Oh yeah, I skipped that part. Base 12 plus your dexterity modifier. Or minus. My bad.
So that would give me a +2. Nice.
Yep, if that's your dex.
Yeah,
When
I
you're
got a
surprised,
16.
you wouldn't. Yeah, when you're surprised, you wouldn't get that +2.
Okay, so modifier for that is a -1.
But we still need to buy armor, though, right?
Yeah, you'll still get chance. That's why I kind of pulled like the quick and easies up if you guys want to look there or check the other.
We got to roll for our money, right?
Yep. Attack bonuses.
Are we going to roll for money?
Oh, yeah, we can do that right now.
You really want to spend your money, don't you? I want to go shopping.
Right,
Lord.
totally. So every character starts with 3d6 times 10 silver pieces, because silver is the main currency. Gold is for rich people.
7 times 10 is 70.
120.
Ooh.
All right. So, I'm 122. We're on the same economic level there, dwarf.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to load up the cost tables for firearms, which are not the easiest to find. They have them added in as optional in the book, which is why they are all the way in the very back.
So, Joe, are we going to use the rural or the city costs for our buying our equipment, our starting equipment?
For starting equipment, because you guys being able to find this stuff in your hometown, I'm going to let you take the cheaper of the 2 columns.
Cool.
Whichever price is better out of city or rural, you pay that cost.
Okay.
Like for instance, that first one, leather armor, has 25 city and 50 rural. You can take it at 25 silver.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So so that has an AC bonus of 14. So if I've already got a 14, what does that give me?
That gives a base AC of 14 while you're armored. So your
so my dex
dexterity on
bone
top
would
of
add to
is
that.
16.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Okay.
All right. Now a quick bit, the encumbrance stuff on the back of the sheet.
Yeah.
So leather armor being worn does not count. A backpack does not count. Like there are only some things that will actually count to add into those slots. Those 5 slots, there's the 5 free ones, and then the next 5 have a +1 to your encumbrance points. But we'll cover those. It's actually pretty genius.
Yeah, I like that.
It slots in.
Pretty cool.
Dwarves ignore that first +1 encumbrance. So dwarf can carry 10 items before they start incurring encumbrance.
Gotcha.
Coins, don't worry about adding those in. 100 coins equals 1 carried item, or one of those, first spots. Things that make sense to stack are going to stack. Like I'll put it that way.
So would livestock count as that goat so that Minimus can have his goat to stare at?
Well, if you're carrying it, a goat's probably going to be a oversized item.
Okay.
Eco, it is not necessary. In my minimalist world, I can see these things in my dreams.
That's Echo. I'm the silence in the wind.
Eco, you do not know your own name.
Right? I have dreamed this. You can trust me.
Yeah.
Is there? I didn't see this in the rules. Like on it, full disclosure, I wasn't super thorough. But is there a restriction to armor for magic users?
Well, the only restriction is that if you are encumbered, you cannot cast spells. So if you look at the chart, it doesn't have it in there. So yeah, this thing doesn't have it. I'm gonna have to open that bit real quick. Yeah, so you can carry stuff, you can wear your armor and things, but if you are encumbered, if you have encumbrance, that dashes your spell casting out.
Got it.
It's like it messes up that concentration and what.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me. Like the old school D&D rules, the metal supposedly messed with the magic and couldn't wear the armor.
I'm opening this up. So, looking on the back page, you'll see there's the equipment and that second segment down below languages, encumbrance.
Uh-huh.
So how this works is once you're carrying 5 pieces of equipment, right? That's kind of one block or tier. A 6th item will put normal folks, not the dwarf, into +1 encumbrance.
Got it.
Right? So 0 to 1, if you look on that encumbrance chart, the bottom of it there, 0 to 1 is unencumbered. Totally fine. Looking at the kind of charts above that, those pips are +1 encumbrance points, which go in on there. So if you are wearing chainmail, that fills in a pip, and you're carrying 6 items, that would be 2 pips. Basically, that would have 2 encumbrance, which would be lightly encumbered. That's kind of how it'll start to make more sense.
No, it makes total sense. It's pretty simple. Yeah, I like it. It's streamlined. Yeah, I love it.
Right. So for the magic user, and this also applies to the elf, once you become heavily encumbered, you can't cast spells anymore. That is fucked up your chi in that sense. So you can cast up to lightly encumbered or carry up to lightly encumbered and be good.
Yeah.
But as soon as I have +1 encumbrance, I cannot cast spells.
So basically, Wheezy Wizards don't last very long.
Wheezy Wizards.
I know, right?
Okay, so you said armor doesn't count against that, and a backpack doesn't count against that.
Yeah, leather armor doesn't count because you're wearing it. Your clothing does not count. Those don't take up spots or don't take slots, which is why they have the non-encumbering equipment section.
Okay.
Your leather armor, your backpack, because backpacks, it counts as something like you're wearing. Those don't fill into those spots there.
Are there any restrictions regards to clerics as far as what weapons they can use?
Nope.
Okay.
You can use what you will. If you want to carry a blade, carry a blade.
Well, I rolled really low in my coin amount, so
Yeah, me too.
I don't have much choice. Is there?
Well, I've got armor.
Can I? Oh man, I hate to ask the damn question. Oh, equipment list. Here it is.
Yep.
So what great weapon? What does that mean?
Oh yeah, so a great weapon is like a two-handed style weapon, right? So they do have that broken down a bit there on the thing. Great weapon is big ol' two-handed.
Two-handed. Cool.
medium weapon is I should probably
Like a longsword, right?
yeah, medium is something that's 1 or 2 hands kind of thing. And then they.
What a minor great weapon be.
No. So
Epically small.
Minor weapon.
no,
Dagger.
minor weapon is like your daggers and things, darts, whatnot. The small weapon is like short swords, your hand axes, those kind of things.
Yeah, okay.
What about like a mace? Because I don't see that in the list. Like,
Yeah,
Great
a mace.
Could be a
A mace
medium
would
weapon,
be
right?
small or medium, depends on how big you actually want to get for it. Like
well, okay, so I'm Blank Cleric. I've got my shields.
so medium weapon. These include standard swords, battle axes, and maces. There you go. Those are for medium. Small weapons are the one-handed, like short swords and hand axes. Tiny weapons, or I'm sorry, minor weapons. Those are your small one-handed, like daggers, clubs, body, ba. Great weapons are all of the big two-handers, two-handed swords, mauls, great axes, those kind of big things.
Goats.
Right.
I think I'm just gonna use a rapier.
Oh, there we go. Back.
And if anyone does want to do firearms, they are back page 157 in the print.
I'm gonna have to, man. To defend myself, bro.
All right, they're available. Doesn't mean you have to take them, but they are available.
So leather armor gives you a what? Plus, I'm trying to find it, but
It gives you a base 14,
Armor plus 14.
that's what I figured it was a +2 adjustment.
and then your dex adds on top of that. And a shield adds either +1 to your melee and a +2 to your ranged AC. It's more effective against incoming missile fire. Is all that means. Okay, leave. Yeah, it's got a little.
Where would I find
on
ammo
there.
for the like bolts and stuff?
Oh, for like a crossbow?
Yeah, or an arrow. Where am I looking at here? I see miscellaneous.
That's what I was looking for. I was like, are they not?
I'm not seeing it.
Oh, it talks about in this bottom thing. Arrows and crossbow bolts cost 5 copper each.
Perfect.
So there are
There
100
we go.
coppers to every silver.
So a quiver with 500 arrows. Awesome.
Well, 20 of those items stack up to be 1 carried item.
Got
Or
it.
1 encumbrance, item slot. Counted with your quiver. So 20 of those is 1.
Okay.
And you guys don't need to worry about buying rations or anything right now. Don't worry about putting those on your sheet because, home is safe.
I want to do a mace. I want to be able to possibly not kill my targets.
All right, well, it's still a D8 on the damage.
Yeah.
Damage die, that's not bad.
What's a longsword do there, GM Joe? Does it do a D8, I think?
Yeah, it's counted in with the medium weapon, D8.
Well, that would be a standard sword, though, right? Like a two-hander, like that. Is that what you mean when you say longsword, or just like a long sword?
Oh, longsword is like a standard sword.
Okay.
You can use it one-handed or two-handed. Is it versatile, Joe?
More or less. I mean, you can put 2 hands on it, and I think that would be something I would probably let you add your strength modifier to. I don't know if it wouldn't necessarily make it count as a great weapon, because the great weapons are, it's just so much bigger.
Then I am never putting 2 hands on my sword because my strength modifier is -1.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Scratch getting mace.
Oh yeah. Well, I said I was gonna get a rapier before, but now I'm gonna get a mace. Yeah. So I am just a traveling holy man warrior. I've got not a penny to my name.
No, not traveling. You have a home.
Oh, I have a home. Just kidding. I have a home. Of course I do.
Berksford.
Berksford.
Yeah. Berksford. Town on the river. Literally, it was Berksford.
So
This is where
under our
people cross the
locations then, or properties, home, Berksford.
All right, you live with the clergy there in the church.
Yeah, I was
How
just
many
gonna
houses
ask,
is
am I cloistered or?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So this is actually, if everybody's set there, this is where we get into a little bit more meat for our area.
Yeah, maybe we should take a quick bio break first.
All right, do we want to do a fire break?
Yep.
Yep.
How many copper to 1 silver?
It is 100 copper to 1 silver.
Oh wow, I can buy a lot of little things.
100. Wait, so 100
Nice.
copper to 1 silver?
Yes, 100 copper to 1 silver.
And then 100 silver to a gold.
Nope, 50 silver to a gold.
50.
Just because they wanted to be difficult.
Awesome.
They're working at the post office.
Right, it should be the other way.
Awesome. Oh, I'm getting pumped, dude. All right, so we're taking a break.
We're taking a break.
Dudes.
Be right back.
All right. Quick 5, 10, however you need. Be right back.